Hello and welcome to Cabernet Chronicles. I'm Aimee Lynn.
And I'm Donny the Peanut Gallery.
And today I'm going to tell you an unsolved mystery.
Bum 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 bum.
Yes. That was awesome.
High fives.
Yay. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
We did it.
So, based on that, one of my sources is an unsolved mystery episode from 1997.
Oh, shit. I was spot on.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk today about the Oakville Blobs.
California?
Oakville, Washington.
Oh, Washington. Okay.
Which is not by Anacortes. It is by Aberdeen. It is 50 miles away from the coast in southeast Grays Harbor County in Washington State. And it's a tiny little town that has only 715 people as of the 2020 census.
Wow.
So yes, small town where everyone knows everyone, that kind of thing. And it's a typical Washington sleepy town where really nothing happens other than rain and logging. So we're going to talk about the Oakville Blobs. Now, what were you doing in 1994?
Living in hell.
But why?
I moved from Arizona, which had 9 months of sun, to Spokane, which had 9 months of winter and 3 months of sun. So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Sounds awful.
Yeah, it was not
Well,
fun.
I was 5 years old.
I'm not going to comment.
So I don't remember when this happened. However, I remember watching the Unsolved Mysteries in 1997 with my parents.
Shh.
Oh, motherfucker.
We're only 2 minutes and 26 seconds in, so I'm not going to say the things I was going to say. Going to make it past that 5-minute mark. 10-minute mark?
All right.
10-minute mark.
So this was Oakville, Washington was a sleepy little town in Washington State that nothing really happened in, and most people didn't even know about until the morning of August 7th, 1994, when at 3 a.m. rain began to fall, which, as you know, in Western Washington is not that weird. However, on August 7th, it was weird because it wasn't ordinary rain. It came down in translucent, gelatinous blobs, no larger than the grain of sand.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
The hell?
So, this actually covered an area of 20 square miles.
What?
Yes. And this wasn't the last time that it happened. Over the next 3 weeks, it happened 5 more times.
Whoa.
The first time it happened, though, however, an officer named David Lacey was on patrol with a civilian friend, which is so weird that, like, this is how small of a town it was, is that the cops were like, hey, friend, you want to just come along on my patrol with me?
I think they call that a ride-along.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just...
So he had a witness to testify this, which is that it started to rain, and he turned on his windshield wipers, and instead of it wiping away the water, it smeared it across the entire windshield to where he couldn't see, and he ended up having to pull over.
Whoa. Weird.
So Officer Lacey ended up pulling into a gas station and tried to clean it off manually. He was smart, and he put on some gloves.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he described it as, quote, very mushy, almost like if you had Jell-O in your hand, end quote.
Huh. But seemingly not like, because I think the wind can actually pick up stuff out of the ocean and bring it in. So like,
It's 50 miles from shore.
jellyfish or something like that? Or is it like eggs or? Huh. That's really bizarre. I mean, because August is still fairly warm
Yeah,
up
August
here.
is usually warm, and August 7th, usually there aren't storms. Like, usually it's like one of the driest times. Like, August is our dry month.
That's super bizarre. Yeah, I wonder if, like, the ocean had some sort of spawning event or something, and it picked up a bunch of stuff. And
we will talk about some of the theories on it soon. Because it gets even weirder.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, now, Officer David wasn't the only one to report it. A woman named Dottie Hearn was reported, and she stepped outside, and she said that at first it looked like hail. Like hail had been sitting on the box until she felt it, and it felt like gelatinous goo.
Did she touch it with her bare hand?
Yes, she did.
Ooh, did she get poisoned?
Well, within hours of the first instance of mysterious goo falling from the sky, many residents of Oakville, including David and Dottie, came down with flu-like symptoms. David said that he had blurred vision and extreme vertigo.
Whoa.
And Dottie had such difficulty breathing that she ended up unconscious on her floor.
Oh, that almost sounds like jellyfish or something, though, because if you go rubbing your hand on a jellyfish, your ass is going to get tore down.
That's only the tentacles that sting you and stuff.
Well, sure, but I don't know anything about the anatomy of a jellyfish, but I mean, if a bunch of eggs were out there, I mean, if you just and massage them, and are you going to get anything from that?
No, the parts of the jellyfish that are poisonous
Just
and
the
venomous.
tentacles, sure.
Sorry, not poisonous, venomous, because jellyfish are not poisonous, they're venomous. Poisonous are if I eat you, I die. Venomous is if they bite you, you die. So snakes are venomous. The Mummy. The Mummy 2 is really...
It's a movie reference, I guess. Yes, okay.
The Mummy 2,
Took me a second.
they keep talking about how snakes are very poisonous, and I'm like, no, they're venomous.
Well, I mean, if you eat a live snake, it'll be poisonous.
You can eat snake.
Live?
Just as long as it doesn't bite you.
Well, I guess technically if it bites you, it's venomous.
Exactly.
Okay, you win.
Exactly. God.
I'm a little slow. What do you want?
Yeah. So again, children at home, if it bites you and you die, that's venomous.
Yeah.
If you bite it and you die, that's poisonous. All right. So they weren't the only people who came down with these symptoms. A ton of people within the town came down with flu-like symptoms, including difficulty breathing, blurred vision, extreme vertigo, and nausea. And these symptoms were reported to last 2 to 3 months. Oh, yeah. Mallory made a really funny joke. If you both bite each other and you don't die, then it's kinky. This is true. All right. So many of the residents of Oakville got the flu-like symptoms, was reported to last 2 to 3 months. On top of that, trigger warning, several dogs and cats died after they were confirmed from being in contact with them.
Yeah,
they got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dottie, she actually, within an hour of her symptoms starting, she was found unconscious on her bathroom floor. Her daughter, Sunny Barclay, took her to the hospital where she was diagnosed with a severe inner ear infection and spent 3 days in the hospital recovering.
Whoa. Jesus.
Yes. However, Sunny, remembering about the blobs and remembering how her mom touched them, she thought maybe the goo rain could have a correlation to it. So she went and took samples of it.
Yeah, good.
And then brought it to a lab in the hospital. And at first, it was reported that the blobs had human blood, like white blood cells in it. However, this turned out to be wrong. The cells had no nuclei, so it couldn't be human white blood cells.
Whoa.
But this was like an urban legend that went on for a while because of that first report. But the sample was then taken to the Washington State Department of Health, where microbiologist Mike McDowell found 2 species of bacteria, one of which is only found in the human digestive system. Yes. So this led to the hypothesis that it could have been from human waste from an airplane. However,
how does that go from, but human waste, how would it gel?
In a porta potty in the thing. However, it's not true because it was quickly ruled out because the FAA requires that it's dyed blue. Plus, pilots are forbidden from leasing the blue ice mid-flight. So it was ruled out as that. And then Dottie and Sonny, they actually kept more samples of it in Dottie's fridge. So about a year later, Dottie sent it to a private research lab called Amtest Laboratories. There, microbiologist Tim Davis found what he thought to be, oh no, now I just forgot how to say it again. Eukaryotic cells, which is only found in living organisms, which led to another theory, which you already said, jellyfish.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know anything about jellyfish, but I mean, yes, the tentacles are the things on a jellyfish that do that, but you never know how. I mean, maybe that stuff is in them, and as they grow, it slowly goes to the places that the tentacles are, and that's the scary part, right? But if you crush it and it's in its rawest form, I mean, if you touch it, yeah, who's to say? I mean,
you can touch some jellyfish as long as they're not like box jellyfish or anything. You can touch the outside like this.
Yeah, but that's when they're full grown. I'm saying like if that stuff is in like a little pod or a little egg or something, and it develops over time and goes to the tentacles, and the outer shell is not as poisonous or not poisonous, but venomous. Right.
Yeah.
So if it's in there and you're like crushing all these things and touching them and like smearing it all around, are you getting the stuff that's in the tentacles at later development all over you? Like, is it a defense mechanism, right? For the species? Like, well,
I don't know.
We're gonna lay these eggs, and if you eat them, you're gonna die. And
I'm gonna be very honest and say that I have no idea about the life or gestation or anything of jellyfish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. We're equally lost.
So I
both
have no
of us
idea.
don't know shit.
I don't know. But I know I've touched a jellyfish like this before, and I've also been stung by jellyfish, and I have never died or gotten the symptoms that they got. So that's good. All right. But anyways, to your point about jellyfish, it's not the eggs and stuff that they think it might have been. What they think it is around that time, the U.S. Navy was running bombing runs on the sea.
Yeah.
In the Pacific Ocean. And it is thought that during such bombing run, they had accidentally destroyed a very large school of jellyfish, and the pieces flew up into the atmosphere and then rained down 50 miles
I was gonna say that's a thing, right? Like, so like because of the way the winds carry and small enough particulate, if it gets up into the air and the winds are heavy, it'll just take stuff, right?
Yes.
And so if they are doing bombing runs and they are blowing water out and fizzing things up, and not fizzing things up, but like splashing mist into the air, right? Just destroying. And August, I mean, that's still prime time for mating, I think, isn't it? In the city?
I don't know. I don't know jellyfish lifespans or anything like that. So I have no idea when jellyfish mate. I have no idea when they come together. I have no idea about that.
See, I get used to being able to ask you all these questions, get all these answers about rocks.
Yeah, I could tell you all sorts of things about rocks and things like that.
I just kind of assume that you know all the things.
I mean, however, when I got stung by jellyfish, it was in August while I was camping, and I was pulling up a crab pot, and it was all over the crab pot line.
It's trying to get at that crab.
And yeah, probably, or just floating by and getting stuck on the line. And so then when I was pulling it up, it got all over me.
And did somebody tell you could poke the outside without actually dying?
Oh, no. So this was just the jellyfish tentacles. So the jellyfish tentacles have the barbs that are still venomous and everything that will still sting you even not attached to a jellyfish.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I
this-
poked a jellyfish like that came up on Titlow Beach. I was
oh.
die.
God.
Yeah. Back when I was like 5. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What? I'm touching the top. It's okay." And it was a white one.
Turned into a day at the hospital.
Oh,
God.
no, it didn't. It was fine.
Lucky.
Well, but also why I was poking it was because my older sisters were like, "You should poke this jellyfish." And I was like, "Okay, big sisters," because I wanted to be cool like my big sisters told me to be cool. And I poked a jellyfish. So, yeah. My sisters are assholes. This is what happens when you're the youngest child.
Yeah.
Either they torment you or they make you do really stupid shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So the theory that the jellyfish pieces may have rained down 50 miles away is still kind of on the table because the Air Force does confirm that they were doing practice bombing over the Pacific Ocean in August of 1994.
Air Force or Navy?
So Air Force. So the Navy was so they were doing like a joint one.
Oh yeah.
The Navy was out there doing some stuff, but also the Air Force does admit that they were actually doing these bomb
actively
runs.
doing the bomb runs. Yeah.
And as one might suspect, though, so they denied any knowledge of or involvement in the blobs. Like, they just full out denied it. And as you can expect from when the military completely denies all involvement in anything, this means that conspiracy theories pop up. Especially because the Oakville residents, actually, most of them report to have seen a significant amount of daily slow-moving airplanes through the area. So one theory is that Oakville, being a tiny, insignificant town in Washington, was the site of a military bioweapons experiment. Designed to test. Yeah, designed to test not only the damage of what a bioweapon could do, but the possible reaction to a bioweapon attack on U.S. soil. Now, this actually isn't the first time, though, that a mysterious blob has fallen from the sky. So there are actually reports as early as the 14th century, and they called it star jelly because normally it would fall from the sky during meteor showers.
Whoa.
And
trippy.
Yeah. And so it has been found, no scientist can agree exactly what star jelly actually is because it's been reported to be different things. So they have found that it's algae. They've also found that it's frog spawn. So like you said, but what's happened as well is little crystallines of silica have congealed together during meteor showers and then fallen down.
But that wouldn't be like a blob, would it?
No. I mean, I don't know. This was
silica
before.
Is hard. That's
well,
what they
silica can be hard, but silica can also be softer too. So it depends on what it's been mixed with. It can be also soft as well.
Interesting.
So it can be different things.
If it can be soft and people touch it, do they get vertigo and fall over?
No.
I mean,
no.
What the hell?
No, they usually don't. Silica usually a. But again, so it's definitely not the silica stuff. I'm just saying that star jelly has also been a natural phenomenon that's actually happened before too. However, it didn't have the bacteria of a human gut inside of it, In 2013, a similar slime to the blobs was found after rain in Somerset, UK.
Interesting.
That was sent for DNA analysis, but the results were never released to the public.
Whoa, trippy.
To this day, we have no idea what the Oakville Blobs are, and no samples remain.
That anybody knows of.
In fact, the Washington State Department of Health has no records that they ever received samples in the first place. However, the microbiologist swears up and down that he had these samples. Dottie's daughter swears up and down that she brought them in. Like,
NSA is a funny entity.
Yes, so this is adding fuel to this conspiracy theory train.
Yep, a little bit. I mean, when you're king of the hill, anybody will do anything to get you off of the hill.
Yeah.
And you'll do anything to stay on top.
Definitely.
Right? So, I mean, you look at our agencies and what we're capable of, and yeah, it's not surprising. You just come along, scoop things up, shuffle them off, and now nobody has anything.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it could have been a bioweapons thing.
Yeah.
But
totally.
it also could have been as simple as jellyfish being blown up by
I mean, we have to have done scientific studies on jellyfish and mating and what their spawn looks like.
I'm sure there are tons of biologists that have done this.
Yeah.
I am not one of them.
Wait, so we should see who's out there that can answer these questions. Just put it in the comments if you know what the hell's going on or if you have any insight. We'll take it. Yeah, let's reach out to the jellyfish experts. Hello, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I want answers.
Yes, he absolutely wants to know about jellyfish really badly right now. So anyone who knows about jellyfish, please.
Gimme.
But my conspiracy theory, so taking to the jellyfish stuff, but also how weird and secretive and stuff that the military's been. My conspiracy theory is that it's covering up an alien. That's a big ass jellyfish.
Maybe it's the alien cruising along, dumping their black water.
Maybe jellyfish are actually baby aliens. So a giant alien jellyfish spawns the tiny jellyfish.
I'm thinking the dude's just cruising along in his alien ship and just is like flushing the shitter across a portion of the Pacific Northwest here.
Maybe. I mean, that could have happened, but no one saw anything in the night sky.
Well, of course not.
But also, we have now been told that aliens live in the ocean.
Right.
So I'm saying giant alien with that's a jellyfish, and that they blew it up because they actually killed it on accident, and they blew it up to cover it up, and then the stuff came down in Oakville, and they were like, oopsies, but they didn't think anyone would actually care because they were like, it's Oakville, no one knows about that place. And then it became an unsolved mystery, and everyone now knows about it. Exactly. So I'm just saying now, in 40 years, when this becomes declassified, I'm on record saying that it was a big ass alien jellyfish.
Well, hey, this is going on the internet. It'll never disappear.
Exactly. Exactly. But anyways, that is the crazy unsolved mystery of the Oakville Blobs. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully, we will see you next time if we haven't been taken away by the CIA for exposing the truth of a giant alien jellyfish. Bye.
Bye.